All right, welcome to today's video. It is day 16 of the 100 Days of Python Code With Me challenge. If you want the full listing, you can go to my website at www.bmosley.com/hdp. Let's get going. Today we're going to do some more fun stuff with the turtle module in Python. And what that means is that we're going to be drawing some fun things. When I was a kid, I had a toy called a Spirograph, and you can still find them in stores today if you go to a craft store or something like that. But basically, what it sort of tricked me into doing without me knowing it was using geometry and mathematical principles to draw all kinds of unique and interesting designs. And it was a set of pins and some plastic little gears that helped me draw repeating designs using math without me even knowing that I was using math. And one of the great things about the turtle is that it allows us to do some similar things. And so we're going to play around with some nested loops today and the turtle module and see what kinds of fun designs we can come up with. So the first thing we need to do is import the turtle module. And I'm going to say from turtle import all. And what that allows me to do is just address the turtle directly without even creating a turtle instance. So that works fine if I'm keeping it simple and I'm just using one turtle and all that stuff. So what I'm going to do is just start typing some commands. And if I say forward 100 and then circle 60, for example, and I run that file, what I get here is, well, you didn't see it because what I should do is use the done command that keeps the window open until I close it. So if I do that now, there we go. And there is my forward 160 circle. Now the circle has a radius of 60, so the diameter of the circle is 120. So you need to remember that 60 is always the radius of that circle or arc. And if I say 60, 180, then it will draw half an arc, just like that. So I can get all kinds of interesting shapes by doing that. And so one of the fun things that we can do with that principle is maybe put it in a loop. Okay, so if I want to, let's keep the done down here just to make sure that window doesn't close on us. But if I wanted to say, put that in a loop, I could just say while true. Now, I know if I do that, it's never going to end. It's just going to draw until the computer runs out of memory. But we can check that out and see what it looks like. Okay, well, that's pretty boring. It's just drawing a circle over and over and over. We don't really want that. So let's make it a little bit more interesting. And each time it draws a circle, we're going to turn to the right 5 degrees. Now let's see what it does. Now, you can see that it is doing something very slowly. Let's play around with it a little bit more, and instead of write 5, let's go write 15. That gives us a little bit more extreme. But I'm also going to speed up the turtle. So I'm going to set speed to 10. Let's set speed to 7. 10 is the fastest. So let's go to 7, and let's see what that looks like with the 15-degree shift. And now you can see that what it's doing is it's shifting by 5 degrees or 15 degrees each time. And that's not exactly giving me what I want. Let's just have it draw a whole circle and turn 15 degrees in between each circle. That's going to give us a more interesting result. And now you can see that what we've got here is starting to look kind of cool. Okay, so it's just going to keep going and going and going until it goes all the way around, and then it'll just start repeating over itself, but that's a fairly satisfying looking figure there. And I'm going to change the speed to 10. And let's replace this because we don't want our design to go forever. Let's change this to a for loop. And I'm just going to say for x in range 0, 30. And that'll give me 30 iterations. And what that's going to do is allow me to make a complete circle. So if I go, I know if a complete circle is 360 degrees. So if I say 360 degrees divided by 30, then I get 12. And so if I change 12 by 12 degrees each time, it should do the complete round. And so it should be drawing 30 circles. Now, if I get impatient, I don't like to watch the turtle draw all of this, I can say speed 0, which just gives me the finished result. Okay, and there it is. Kind of interesting. So that's pretty cool. But let's make it a little bit fancier. Let's say that we're going to do a circle, half circle, and then we are going to do another circle, and we'll make that one, let's change the color to red. Remember, you can look up all the color names that are usable. There's quite a few. And then I'm going to do another circle, or another half circle, to complete that. So let's change the color before we do it to blue. So let's take a look at what that looks like as a completed project. And there it is. Kind of got the red and blue mixing together in there. That's pretty fun. Let's do another little thing here. Let's do, I think I'm going to make this circle a little bit bigger. So let's make that one 50. And that gives me room to do another little design here in the middle of the circle. So let's do, in the red, we'll do a circle and we'll say, make that one just 10. And I'm also going to begin fill and end fill around that circle. So it changes the color to red. It begins the fill, draws a circle, ends the fill. And then I'm going to change the color back to blue. And then it'll draw the other half of that circle and then turn. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna that design with some interesting little dots around it. That's kind of fun. Now, if I want to change the spacing of that, then what I could do is I could say, um, let's say 18, and let's make this 20. Basically, that angle, the number of times that I do it, times the angle should equal 360 if I want to make that design complete. That's the only real math that I have to do here. But that changes the spacing of that. So it's a lot of fun things you can do here. And if I wanted to, I could put another loop here for y. Since the first one is called x and this one's called y, I'm just going to in range make sure that they don't have the same name, the variables. And this range is going to be 0 to 10. And then I'm going to say let's indent these. So I'm going to indent all the red circle business. And I'm going to draw that circle 10 times, but I'm going to turn left 36 degrees each time that I draw it. And let's see what happens. Okay, so that's a little bit less obvious, but it's drawing 10 little circles here. Now what happens if I change this to 9 and it only draws 9 circles? What happens? Let's watch. So my whole design gets really different. What happens if I go to 11 circles? So now I've changed the whole thing again, but I've got a loop inside a loop where I've got something going on. So instead of a circle, maybe I could change the pen size and I'm going to make the pen size y plus 1. And that means that when it's 0, it'll be 1. And when it's 11, it'll be 12. So the pen size is going to change each time it does this. And I'm going to go forward. Let's go forward y. Let's put another formula in here. Let's go y plus 1 and put that in parentheses, and then we'll go times 10. So it'll always go forward that amount at that pen size. And let's make that back to 10 because we want it to go 10 times 36, which will give us a perfect circle. So let's just see what that gives us. Should be interesting. Oh, that's kind of cool. So we're doing some crazy stuff now, but it's going to come all the way back around and give us that design. So that's kind of interesting. The red part of this is kind of long, so let's change that to forward times 2. That'll make a smaller design. That's not as fun. So maybe we can play around with it and achieve something in the middle. And really this is just about sort of tinkering and seeing how the math affects the designs. And so this is something I really like to do with nested loops. And you could put a loop inside a loop inside a loop, but there's a lot you can do with pen size and color and forward, backward, right, left, circle. Don't forget the fill properties. So you can do some really fun stuff. And I would encourage you to just spend some time playing around.